I can have a huge round of applause for Miss Michelle Deighton from America's Next Top Model and Mr. Jonny Fairplay from Survivor. Now they will be signing free autographs at the celebrity signing area at 12:30, so you can pop around there. But we have a microphone running around the audience, so put your hands up and ask some questions and we'll see where we go from there.
So this should be pretty interesting. This is my wife, and we're not talking, so this should be a blast. How about those All Blacks? So I guess we'll start with the biggest question I get is how did I get on Survivor? And basically at the time I was living in Los Angeles. I had never seen the show. I thought it was stupid. And I had just finished hooking up with my buddy's girlfriend because I'm a nice guy like that. And we stopped at a gas station and she goes to pump gas like a woman should. I go to the corner to have a cigarette. And so I'm sitting there, and this white Volvo drives up and locks up the brakes, and this woman pulls in. She goes, do you mind if I ask you a crazy question? I'm like, you're hot, why not? She goes, you ever watch Survivor? I go, no, they're a bunch of losers. She goes, I'm the casting director. I go, that sucks for you. She goes, I'm offering you a 1 in 16 chance at $1 million. I'm like, whatever. She goes, I think you'd be great. I go, tell me something I don't know, honey. She goes, that's it, you're on. So as a result, I went on eBay and ordered every single season of Survivor and every early show interview in which they said why they felt they were voted out. So that's when I developed the strategy of the dead grandmother lie. I based it on the season before. Jenna Maraska's mom was actually dying of cancer. Everyone kind of lost on purpose so she could get a letter from home. I'm like, well, wow, what's more sympathetic than a dying mom, a dead grandma? So, yeah, so that's how I got there. That's why I'm incredibly more famous than any of you. And, yeah.
And on Top Model, I'd actually never even heard of the show before I was on it. But I've been trying to model since I was 14. And one day, I was riding my bike, just having fun, working out. And then I got a call on my cell phone, and she's like, hey, I'm the casting director for America's Next Top Model. How would you like to come to semifinals? And I'm like, what, modeling? Sure. So I went to LA, made it on the show, and cried a lot, and then got a lot of good photos, and I'm still modeling till today, so great fun, great fun. And we actually have a little girl that's a little camera whore herself, so it's in her blood. Any questions?
Questions, not all at once. All right over there?
Mostly a question for Michelle, excuse me, but I'm also Jonny as well. I'm quite curious about how Will Padman talk about quite a bit of the drama on the TV show, reality shows, by sleep deprivation. Is it true?
On our show, if you take 12 of the nicest girls ever and lock them in a room and say no TV, no radio, no magazines, no books, there's going to be drama. No matter if they're the nicest people in the world, there's going to be drama. And on Top Model, they take so many flashing personalities, it's inevitable. Like, there's going to be a fight, there's going to be someone cussing out someone else, there's going to be something going down. So, on that, and then on John's show too, it's inevitable. Go ahead, John.
Well, with Survivor, there's not only sleep deprivation, there's also food deprivation. So I think that adds to the drama. Like, a lot of people, they're just like, hey, when the cameras aren't rolling, do they sneak you guys food? And it's like, I wish. But it's the hungrier I am and the more tired I am, the more volatile I am. And that's what they want. They want this huge clash of personalities. And some are better than others. I would probably be the best. And so no, like sleep deprivation and all that, it definitely plays into it. So, a a big thing that you know, that a lot of people don't know is, like, you know, when they ask the question, it's like, you know, when they turn off the cameras. With Survivor, they never turn off the cameras. So the cameras are going 24/7. The film crews change about every 10 hours, and whenever a new film crew comes in, they smell like cheeseburgers, cigarettes, and weed, and that's pretty much the three things I'd really like at that time. So that sucks. But it's the only time that they didn't film the entire the 38 days I was there for my first Survivor was we had 2 tropical storms that later became hurricanes, and so the tropical storm hits and the rain comes in for about 14 hours straight, and it's so intense it was just coming in horizontal, and you know, we're like, this sucks big time. So we're sitting there, and finally the camera guy's like, look, I can't film this, you know, the rain's coming in my camera, nobody die, peace out, and he just leaves. And I'm like, nobody die? What? Nope. Are you? So yeah, so that was one of the worst moments on Survivor, I would have to say.
Would you say that it was worth it going on to these shows? And what was your biggest regret about being on the show here?
I would have to say I don't regret going on the show at all, because I was 18 years old, fresh out of the cornfields of Indiana. Like, I had no clue about, I wanted to model, but I had no clue about the actual modeling world. So it was kind of like a boot camp and a crash course in it. And I think, me personally, it helped me just experience the world and help, I guess, be more outgoing and all of that. So it was quite amusing. I guess I regret crying a lot. So I cried like every day. It was so stressful. It really was.
For me, I mean, it changed my life. You know, I've done 45 different television shows, so I don't think anyone else can say that. And you know, I'm on Rolex number 2. I don't know how many Rolexes you guys have, but probably less than 2. So I have no regrets. You know, people ask, you know, like, does it suck you didn't win? And I think I've got a lot of other gigs because I didn't win. Like, you know, I signed a 2-year deal with TNA Wrestling for $300,000. You know, so I could feud with women. You know, when a woman cost me $1 million, so I had the opportunity to be a bad guy and say bad things about women because of that. And if I had won, it was like, you know, don't you hate women? I'm like, no, they gave me $1 million. They're great. So I think that helped.
Jonny, can you just tell us a bit about your time with TNA and the status of what you are with the company now, and if it'll ever happen again?
I'm not working with them. I basically, after Survivor, I got a phone call from the WWE, and they offered me a 4-month contract. They had 2 different scenarios. One was it was gonna be revealed when Jericho was dating Trish Stratus. It was gonna be revealed that I was the sleazy boyfriend, and that was one storyline offer. And then the other one was I was gonna wrestle the Divas at WrestleMania, and finally the women would have a chance to beat me up or whatever. So those are the 2 possibilities, and they seemed great, but they were only 4-month deals. And then TNA Wrestling called, and they were like, we'll give you a 2-year deal for $300,000. And I was like, wow. And I'm like, that sounds really good. I'm like, you know, and Jeff Jarrett called me personally, and I was like, you know, well, what will I do? And he was like, you'll be the bad guy. And I'm like, well, will I manage somebody? And he was like, no, you're Jonny Fairplay. You don't, you know, just go out and run your mouth. And I was like, well, I don't really want to get beat up. And they're like, we'll give you creative control over your character. You won't take a bump for 6 months to a year. It's all about the build. And I'm like, man, this is awesome. So I get there, and the day before I got there, someone leaked out my contract over the internet. So everyone in the locker room hated my guts because I made more than any of them, which was awesome. So that was a really fun environment to walk into. And when I got there, the first day there, Access Hollywood was there, Inside Edition, and all these people. And so, you know, they're like, all right, here's the plan. You're going to hit AJ Styles with the chair. He's going to block it, kick you in the stomach, and give you a spinning power bomb. And I'm like, whoa, that that's not 6 months from now. Nope. Rolex says that's today. That's not 6 months. So anyway, so I'm like, this sucks. So I'm like, well, let me call my manager, because I do have creative control. So I called my manager. I was like, and she was like, I don't know what a spinning twisty majou is, but you don't want to take that. No, absolutely not. And I was like, look, honestly, everyone here hates my guts. So I think this is the only way I'm going to win them over is if I do take the twisting thing.